everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to Shut It. How you doing? Let's just get right into it. Dumb news of the week. Here it is. Arizona high school teacher Mitchell Rutherford quits job over student cell phone addiction. They can't put it away. That's the headline. An Arizona's high school teacher blamed his students' rampant use of their cell phones in the classroom for the decline of his mental health, which he says has forced him to quit his job. Mitchell Rutherford, who taught biology at Socorro High School in Tucson, Arizona for over a decade, says he called it quits after multiple failed attempts to pry his students from their devices caused him to lose his sanity. And this is a quote from him. "I have been struggling with mental health this year, mostly because of what I identified as basically phone addiction with the students," he told the news outlet. Frustrated educator believes the phone addiction stems from the closures of the school endured during the height of COVID-19 pandemic, which caused the students to socialize. Okay, and here's a picture of him. He's quite young. I think he looks quite young to me. Anyway, I think, I'll have more to say about what I think. Let's finish. Rutherford noticed a change in his students this past fall before realizing he was working harder than his students. This year, something shifted, he said, and it's just like they are numbing themselves. They are just checking out of society. They're just like, can't get rid of it. They can't put it away, he told the outlet. Rutherford says in October, half of his students were failing his class and told them that they didn't want to be at school or care about their grades. I was beginning to think I was the problem, Rutherford, who says he was growing anxious and depressed, told the Wall Street Journal. Okay. Sororo High School's phone. This is in the Wall Street Journal, by the way. Okay. Actually, I'm reading it from the New York Post, but the New York Post is so lazy that they take articles from the Wall Street Journal. Okay. Sororo High School's phone policy says they shouldn't be used in class, but teachers are left to enforce it, according to the outlet. Rutherford likened the immense phone usage to drug addiction. All right. Opioids, obviously a huge problem. Cocaine, heroin, all of those drugs, alcohol, it's all a big problem. But like sugar, even greater than that, and then phones, even greater than that. That sentence doesn't really make sense. But anyway, so he's saying, look, these phones are worse than sugar. And sugar's worse than heroin and cocaine? I don't think so. I think this maybe he should look things up on his phone because I think he has misinformation. Rutherford bribed the digital youth with rewards if they put their devices down in an attempt to help his students fight their so-called addiction. He says, here's extra credit. Let's check your screen time. Let's create habits. Let's do a unit on sleep and why sleep is important and how to reduce your phone usage for a bedtime routine. And we talked about it every day and created a basket called Phone Jail, he explained. He even tried taking his classes on nature walks and taught meditation techniques, but to no avail. I would walk up to the kids and say, give me your phone, and they would clutch it. And I would say, that's what an alcoholic would do if you tried to take away their bottle, he told the Wall Street Journal. Once again, this is Wall Street Journal, okay? 97% of the students use their cell phones during school hours, according to a Common Sense Media study last year. Governor Kathy Hochul this week called for a ban on kids using smartphones in school, proposing that students carry dumb phones that they can send texts but cannot access the internet. All right. I kind of agree with him. Not really agree with him for quitting, but I agree with this stance he's taking because he's not able to do his job. That's what this woman, Chris Anderson, told the NBC affiliate. Okay, these are a lot of different outlets on a third-party outlet. I think it's understandable. I feel the frustration. I have 2 teenage boys, so they are on their phones constantly, and it's a big distraction. Rutherford's final day of teaching was May 23rd, which he called bittersweet, but best for himself and his family. And there's him on his phone taking it. No, I'm kidding. Part of me feels like I'm abandoning these kids. I tell kids to do hard things all the time, and now I'm leaving, he said, but I decided I'm going to try something else that doesn't completely consume me and drain me. Good. That's good. It's self-care. He hopes to pursue his PhD in the future. Okay. What do you guys think? This is a real hot topic. I have solutions, actually. I like the idea of having a dumb phone, the whole old-timey flip phone, so you could just send text messages. Phone jail. Like, these are words that he used. He has a phone jail. If I were to bribe the kid, here's what I would do. If I were the teacher and all the kids were on their phones, I would have them use the phone, film. This is what I would do. These are solutions to problems that are not going away. They're not going to get rid of their cell phones. It's like calculators. You know what I mean? Except calculators, you solve math problems. And this, you just go on TikTok and it's like crack. Embrace the phone. You cannot look at it as a weapon or something that is hurting your classroom. You have to flip it. You got to flip it around. You got to say, hey, all right, so you're not going to get off your phones. Here's what I suggest you do. You must bring your phone to class, every single one of you. And if you don't have the newest or updated, you don't have to have the newest. You just have to have a phone with a lot of memory. And if you don't have a lot of memory, I will buy the memory for you, okay? And we're going to do a package deal. I'm going to buy a software editing program. And actually, I'm not going to buy it. The school's going to buy it. And so every single kid will install in the classroom a app. It could be any app. It could be iMovie. It could be CapCut. It could be Adobe Express, anything. And you are mandatory. You must be on your phones. And you have to film my entire talk of whatever I'm doing, history that month or that week or that day. If we're going to talk about minerals, we're going to talk about chemistry. You film the entire thing. You must be filming it. And this is where skills come. Okay, so let's say you're a newbie. You don't do video editing. You're filming the whole thing. And for your homework, you have to make it me lecturing the classroom on whatever, the history of, some history class. Film it, edit it, and do highlights of this part. Teacher Rutherford is going to talk about the Emancipation, and this part he's going to talk about the Proclamation, and in this part he's going to talk about the Declaration. I don't know what that is. I just made it up. But that is genius. Then they're graded on who has the best videos. And you can do animation. You can do anything. You can have little stickers in there. You can have even music. You can have subtitles. You can have subtitles. And let's say it's a language class. Maybe he's doing it in English, and then you redo it in they have a software for all of this. You can do any language you want. So on top of that, for extra credit, you can do it in Chinese, subtitles, rather. All these kids on their phone, they're on their phone, but they're making videos. And in the meantime, they're learning because they're listening to the teacher talk about the history, the Emancipation, and the Proclamation, and the Declaration. Win-win. And that's what their homework is. And that's an amazing, that's a solution to the problem. I don't think you're getting rid of these phones. Or you do what they do at comedy shows. You have those little bags, and you have to put them in, it's like a phone lock, basically. Maybe they're going to have to come up with something like that. These are solutions. You need to be clever and figure out how to come up with solutions and not have a nervous breakdown. I think you're a weak teacher. I think getting your PhD is quite lofty of you if you can't even control a classroom. How are you going to get a PhD? How are you going to get your doctorate in anything when you can't even say, hey, buddy, put your phone down? All right, don't put your phone down. Film my whole lecture today. Edit it, hand it in, I'll Dropbox it, and then I'm going to grade you on it. And then if you don't do the editing and do a video of my lecture, if you don't hand it in, not only do you fail, I take your phone. No, you can't do that. You can't take their kid's phone. That's like property. What could they do? I've got it. No more detentions. No more staying after class. No. Your detention is you have one room. You know when like you go to certain places, there's no, you can't get any 4 or 5G. There's got to be a room like that where you got to sit there and watch live lecturing, but there's they block out the internet or any signal to get in because everybody has their own 5G. And it's blocked out, so you're forced to actually look at the live lecture. That's very complicated, though. You have to have a pretty big budget for that. But I mean, these are solutions. This is just the beginning. I'm just thinking of ideas. If you have any ideas, what do you guys think? I think we're on a decline. I do. I'm including myself in that decline, by the way, because I am addicted to TikTok. It's just one of those things where I like to avoid things that I have to do. And then TikTok is like, it almost fit, because my algorithm is like recipes in the kitchen, DIY, do it yourself, cleaning hacks. Like, I feel like I'm actually getting ideas and things done in my head while I'm on TikTok. Others doom scroll, like their algorithm is like, I don't know, conspiracy theories and aliens and reptilians. Mine is kind of on the upbeat, and then I have funny videos of cats and dogs, and that's fun. These are great distractions, but yeah, it is the decline of the human mind, I think. I'm pretty sure this is the end. But you might as well have fun. Watch a TikTok. You know what I mean? Do a TikTok challenge. Do not take away the kid's phone. You can put them in a room where there's no 4 or 5G signal, but if you take away their phone, that's like almost taking away their hand. That's almost like taking away their personality, because the phone is pretty much, it is your personality at this point. It's like a Black Mirror episode. Whatever likes you have, whatever thumbs ups, whatever followers, however your number of followers are. By the way, you can like and subscribe if this is on your algorithm. So maybe this guy should be on social media. Like, I also follow this historian who's great on TikTok. He's amazing. I can't remember his name. I'll try to put it up at the end. But he is incredible. And he does history lectures on TikTok. And it's great. And they last like 5 minutes. And I'm mesmerized by this guy because he makes history fun. I think that's the key. I think what you're going to have to do is up the game. You can't just be a boring history teacher and be like, 1847, the blah, 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 the blah, the blah. And then, of course, I'm going to go on TikTok if I'm in that classroom. If I had to teach, I'd be on TikTok. I think you should start teaching on TikTok or on Instagram Reels. I think that's the way it's going. And if you are a student, you're filming it, you can make your own reels of the teacher giving a lecture. Whoever gets the best reel or the best TikTok or the best shorts, YouTube shorts, then they get an A and they get promoted. And they're learning editing skills. Do you know what I mean? And they're getting information in their head because they have to go back, listen to the lecture again and again because they're editing. Editing takes a while. So that's a win-win for me. I don't know. What do you guys think? I want to read the comments. We're going to read the comments because that's why we're here. But I think this guy is a little too sensitive. I think like your mental health is declining because the kids won't get off their phones. All right. I can't believe you lasted. A teacher is a hard job. Have you ever taught? I've taught. I taught classes. Anyway, let's go to the comments, shall we? Because that's why we're here. I could not agree more with this teacher. I think cell phones should be banned in schools altogether, a complete distraction and unnecessary. And no, it's not just students. I look out the front window of my home and see people walking down the street staring at them. What could possibly be so important? Oh, right. So people are walking, looking at their phone. Maybe they're looking at Google Maps. Maybe they don't know where they are. It's like they have a map of directions. I do that all the time. Kids have no business with smartphones. The old flip phone that called in and out only is much more appropriate. You probably should go back to school. Anyway, Chris says cell phones have been banned in schools in Florida. Good on you, Florida. And Blondie310 says always thought it was a foul that phones were allowed. There's absolutely no need for them in the classroom. Emergency, let the parent guardian call the main office. Of course, I'm a retired high school teacher, and this guy is crazy to think COVID exacerbated cell phone addiction in students. I left the profession in 2016 and it was rampant then. I had students assault me if I tried to touch their phones. Yeah, it's a very private thing. And he's a fool to quit a tenured position. Okay, let them use their phones and pretend to teach. That's what 75% of the teachers do anyway. I like Ulysses 61 who said that. I agree. I agree with Ulysses, actually. Just let them do whatever they want. It doesn't matter. If it wasn't a phone, it would be a calculator. If it wasn't a calculator, it would be passing notes. If it wasn't passing notes, it would be something else. It would be something else. There was always those kids in the back making a ruckus, and the teacher had to ignore them. Or, they're scared of the students. Most teachers are scared of the students. Anyway, Frank Grail says, students often get Chromebooks for their schoolwork, so they are on the internet anyway. I agree. That's right. My daughter has her computer on in the classroom. If only there was a way to get teens to eventually think it's boring to be on their phones and do other activities. I agree. These are solutions. Like edit the lecture. And then John III says, private schools are always looking for good, stable teachers. These schools have strict rules of dress and conduct and enforce them. I don't know what private school he's talking about because I don't think that's true. I taught in a private school and they don't listen just as much as the public school. I think if you get in a higher, like a ranking classroom, like AP something, those kids listen because they want to learn. They want to go on to a good school or whatever. But then the ones in the third track classes, they don't care. They're rich kids. Their daddy's going to get them a job at the whatever firm. They don't need to pay attention. It's not fair, I know, but these are the facts. Sorry. As with law enforcement officers, go to where you are respected. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. I guess I should not be surprised that parents who want their children to get a good education sue the private schools when the rules they agreed to are enforced and against their child. So this person, John III, kind of contradicts himself. He says first, send your kids to private school, and then he's saying, oh, these private school kids' parents don't agree with the enforcement of the rules, then they sue the school. I don't think they do that. I think that's a little hyperbolic. What do you guys think? Do you think children should not have cell phones? Put in your comments below. Are you a teacher? Maybe you're a teacher. And maybe you've fed up, you've had it, and maybe you checked out. Like that guy suggested, just phone it in. It doesn't matter. The kids, they're not going to listen anyway. You got a tenured job. Take PhD classes at night and phone it in. I have a good story about this. I had a teacher, Mr. Beck, back in high school. He was a religion teacher. Very, very funny guy. Anyway, you know what he did? This was his technique because everybody cheated. I didn't cheat. I tried. I was not good at cheating. I was too obvious. But kids, they would cheat during tests. A lot of the kids would steal the test before. I don't know how they got their hands. I think they had like keys to the teacher's lounge or something. Anyway, this guy, Mr. Beck, funny guy. You know what he would do? He embraced the fact that people were cheating, and he made us, before a test, he taught us how to make the perfect cheat sheet. So he would like hand out these like fine pens, and he's like, the trick is you got to get as much information on the smallest piece of paper and hide it under your test, and then just move it out with your finger slightly. And he made us, the entire classroom, make cheat sheets. And the next day we took the test using the knowing cheat sheets. That was genius. Because you know what he did? He made us actually study for the test. We had to write everything down on a small piece of paper. He should get like a prize, a teacher prize. Whatever those prizes are, he should get the prize. Mr. Beck. That was an amazing tactic. And that's what I say. Use the phone in the classroom for the work that you're teaching. Embrace it. because it's not going anywhere. You can take the phone away, but they're going to have backup phones. I know this for a fact. I mean, my daughter had to go away for some camping thing with her school, and they said, don't bring your cell phones. She's in the middle of the mountains somewhere. I told her, bring your goddamn cell phone. What if something happens? I want to get in touch with you. And you're not in the classroom. You're like hiking and stuff. And she brought her cell phone. And she ended up getting sick and texting me. What should I do? I just threw up. And I told her, blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, point is, cell phones are positive. It's like anything in life. The way you use it, that's the problem. It's your own self-control. So if you're in the classroom and these kids are on their cell phone and you're the teacher, you got to make the cell phone work for you. Okay? Bottom line, make it work for you. And that's all I have to say about that. How are you guys doing? I had a great week. We had an amazing show last Thursday, and we have another show coming up in June. It slows down around this time of year, but we're going to do 2 shows in June and so in July. So, and then the club closes down, but we have July 13th and the 27th. Or no, sorry, June 13th and the 27th. You can get tickets at jenkirwin.com. Yeah. Okay, this is a good dumb one. Okay, ready? New TikTok trend could cause explosive diarrhea. Experts warn dangerous myth. TikTok trend could prove extremely shitty is the tagline. Castor oil has been hailed as a treatment for complexion problems and hair growth, but experts are warning against an unlikely side effect when ingested. On TikTok, creators claim that the oil can detox the body, but buyer beware, consuming castor oil derived from the castor bean plant can cause explosive diarrhea. Did not know that. Once ingested, castor oil activates the prostaglandin receptors, leading to rapid contractions that push contents through your small intestine at speed without giving you time to fully digest content and form solid stools. According to Jane Clark, an incontinence nurse at the Australia-based Confidence Club, castor oil inhibits fluid absorption in the gut and causes accelerated bowel movements, which will likely result in dehydration, malnutrition, and electrolyte imbalance. For this reason, despite what TikTok influencers would have you believe, it is advisable to avoid ingesting castor oil altogether. All right. Now, here's the dangers of TikTok. I was praising TikTok earlier, but the dangers are that you have these so-called experts on there, and people actually believe them, and they do the whatever they wellness person says for them to do. It's sort of like a million goop Gwyneth Paltrow's on TikTok trying to sell their remedies for whatever wellness. While castor oil was once used in years past to treat constipation or induce labor, it is no longer recommended for these purposes due to safety concerns. Yeah, I think I had to take I think my mom made me take castor oil when I was a kid for something. I can't really remember, but it was disgusting. I remember it was the most rancid, gross thing I had to take, and I can't remember why. But it only happened like once or twice. Anyway, the fact is, in 2024, we don't need to rely on the same laxatives in the ancient Egyptian times. The oil does, however, have other great uses, like being an excellent moisturizer. I didn't know that. Okay. And is typically considered safe for external use, but soft skin and hair are about all the benefits it yields. There is also no way that putting it in your belly button will cure. Yeah, I saw that. If you put castor oil in your belly button, it cures cancer. Yeah, that's what they say. Despite what TikTok touts, castor oil, other experts say, will not magically regrow hair, nor is it likely to make under eye circles disappear. Some creators swear by castor oil packing or slathering on a cloth in the stuff and putting it on their abdomen, alleging that it aids digestion. It's just oil. How can that... I guess you absorb it through the skin. It alleviates cramps and detoxes the body and cures diseases. But healthcare professionals say those claims are bunk. It doesn't work. The most dangerous myths we see time and time again on platforms such as TikTok, not just from creators themselves, but especially in the comments, are that castor oil is a cure for everything, including cancer. See, I said that. Cancer and castor oil is a miracle for weight loss. They have comments. They have lots of comments. Okay, Johnny Mac says, y'all put mercury in your teeth and fluoride in our water, so hush. All right. Okay, so Joe Fitz says, if it's not healthy, then why were the little rascals' parents always making them take it? And then JF says, to clean them out. No antibiotics then. Best way to get rid of a stomach bug. And there were lots. Was in the outhouse. Also, the poison is always in the dose. Okay? And Big Cheese says, in 67, everybody's parents I knew put baby oil on us at the beach, and we went every day. It's like magnifying glass, but nobody knew it then. Okay, that's a bad sunburn. Vic, based on this article, I approve of this trend for TikTok influencers. And Aardvark says, man, oh man, let's hope this isn't something Stacey Abrams tries. Okay. Kevin Kenna says, or Whoopi Goldberg. Wow, okay. And then there's some replies to that. And Mrs. OG says, oh my gosh, you two are hysterical. LOL. She thinks that's funny, making fun of fat people. Okay. Aardvark says, my nightmares are shredded cabbage, salt and pepper, canola oil, and a wok. And Stacey Abrams. It would be like a cement truck dropping a sidewalk. Okay. And Big Cheese says, you spelled Whoopi Hinderberg wrong. They're just yucking it up. They're just talking to each other in these comments in the New York Post. Emily Marie White says, dear Democrats, pay no attention to the above article regarding castor oil. It's awesome for healthy and happy life. A tablespoon a day keeps the TDS at bay. I don't know what that means. And L.A. McDonough says, I've used castor oil as a mild laxative for over 50 years off and on. A half a teaspoon is dosed for mild laxative. I never take any more than that. And Santiago Dianto says, crappy article. And Scotty Gunn says, no shit. and there you have it. And that's it. That's it. That's all we got this week, you guys. Thanks for checking us out. I want you to join us for next week because we have a very special guest. It's going to be my first interview. It's my first interview on Shut It, and it's to celebrate the 50th episode. So please check that out. If you aren't already subscribed, please like and subscribe and share with your friends. Don't put castor oil in your belly button, okay? Don't be a dum-dum.